Everyone! Well, we're here. We're back, and today we're doing another anti-MLM video, and the MLM we will be talking about today is It Works. And just as a reminder, It Works is mainly known for their wraps where you wrap it around your body and it's supposed to tone you and compress the fat, maybe. They also sell skinny coffee and skinny tea. They also have a beauty line where they sell serums and creams. So they are a health and wellness company, is I believe what they like to call themselves. But they are mainly known for their wraps and for their skinny coffee. The video we will be reacting to today is essentially a training video. It's for individuals who have just signed up with It Works. They have paid the $99 starter kit fee. I believe that's how much the kit is. And they want to know, where do I go from here? What do I need to do in my business now that I'm a business owner? I've paid the $99. What do I do now? So that's what this video is all about. So with all of that said, let's get started.
All right. Okay. So welcome, you guys. I am so excited to be here with you guys tonight and to do this. There are so many new faces as I am looking through here. It's so much fun. And I'm so excited for you guys and secretly a little bit jealous because most of you guys joined for $49.50. Now, I would pay hundreds of dollars to join a business like this because I truly believe that we have $1 million opportunity. But those of us that have been in for a little bit, we're all secretly jealous of all of you guys coming in.
I would pay hundreds of dollars, guys, to get into this business. But I am secretly jealous that you got a discount when you started out in this business, which is a very weird thing to, I guess they were doing a deal at this time that if you wanted to start with It Works, you only had to pay $49 instead of the $99. So you start your business half off.
$49.50 because it's just such a good deal. And I am so excited that corporate has extended this promotion through Saturday night. So not only did you get to join this business for $49.50, but you get to take advantage of the opportunity to now talk to your friends and your family and get people in as well. So for those of you,
always the friends and family, right? Aren't you so excited to have your friends and family sign up now that it's only $50? We are only a minute in and already friends and family signing up, which, I mean, maybe they're excited to sign up with the products because you get a better deal with the products. So we haven't fully gotten into recruiting yet.
You guys that don't know me or have never met me, my name is and I live in Michigan. I am a triple diamond with the company and I have been in for about 3 years.
Triple diamond. Let's look at the I called it a compensation plan when I was talking about Monate last time. I meant to say income disclosure statement. Okay, so here is the 2019 income disclosure statement for It Works, and I mean, just like every other income statement that we look at, these numbers are not good. I mean, they're a little bit I don't want to say better, but it seems like, 86% of the company is a distributor. Maybe they're not looking to make this into a business. They're not looking to recruit anyone, but they're averaging about $50 a month, which is not anything because the prices for some of the products on It Works website are just like any other MLM. They're very expensive, so that's not even covering the products that you need to buy, really. And then there's executive, which is only 3% of the company, making $240. And then she said she was a triple diamond, so she is in, of course, less than 1% of the company. She said she's been in for 3.5 years, and she's, we'll just say, averaging about $8,500 a month. So I mean, she's clearly making some good money. That's why they usually are so pumped and hyped and excited for everybody, because they're making money. And the more people that sign up underneath them, the more money they get. So, yeah, I mean, 0.05% of the company is making $24,000 a month, which, I mean, on the low end, $5,900 a month is still really good. But again, the chances of you becoming one of those people is less than 1%.
Which is just crazy, you guys, because, you know, I love that I'm a business owner. Like I never in my wildest dreams when I was little or growing up, thought I would be a business owner. So I just want to take that moment to congratulate all of you guys on starting your own business and taking your freedom and your finances and your health into your own hands. So I started this business because I wanted just to make a little extra money. I wanted to help contribute to my family. My husband owned an IT company. He was always gone. I never saw him. We were both married and divorced. We have 3 kids together. And honestly, we weren't able to do a lot. We weren't able to go to the movies and go out to dinner and go on family vacations. And I thought, man, I love being a stay-at-home mom, but if I could help out my family just a little bit and bring in that little bit of extra income, that would be amazing.
Already, of course, appealing to the stay-at-home mom, which when it comes to MLMs, stay-at-home moms are their biggest target market. They're like, you can make millions of dollars while staying at home with your family. Don't you want to be home with your kids? Or I guess not even necessarily. I mean, their target is the stay-at-home mom, but also to moms who are working who want to stay home with their kids. They're appealing to those women. And, her saying, like, I was a stay-at-home mom and I just want extra money for my family. And look where I am now. This is where you can be. That's what they always go with.
And it has surpassed everything that I could potentially even think of and dream of. I cannot believe that I make 6 figures from this little guy right here. And my favorite part is I get to teach all of you guys how to do that same thing.
I'm excited for you to hopefully teach us, how we can sell the product. Hopefully that's what we're going to get to.
So welcome to the team. And one thing I wanted to say to you guys tonight is you can be as successful as you want in this business, and it all starts the day that you decide. There is an ambassador in our company, and she always says, in this business, you get to let your work ethic write your paycheck. So how many of you guys—
Again, no. Somebody can go in hard and they can try and be selling the product and maybe even trying to recruit from day one. But again, if they don't get those yeses, no matter how hard they work, they could work 12-hour days. And if they don't get a yes, if they don't get an okay, they're not making money.
Work right now? How many of you have a job? If I could just see like a show of hands, if you have something else that you do besides it works. Okay, now I want to ask you another question. How many of you can go into work tomorrow and tell your boss, I'm going to work extra hard today and you're going to give me a bonus at the end of the day? How many of you can do that? Not many, right? How many of you can walk in there and go, I'm awesome and I deserve a $5,000 bonus in 2 months? Just in 2 months. Not very many.
I see. We're hating on the 9 to 5, so we got that. We're just, checking off the MLM, checklist of like stay-at-home mom, appeal to them, call them a business owner, hate on the 9 to 5.
Right? But in this, we get to do that. And that is like the most exciting thing ever. But you have the choice to do it or not, okay? It's your decision. And we're all going to be here to help you do that. But the best thing too, you guys, is this is a mobile business. As long as you have this or a phone or your mouth, you can work your business. What
was in her hand? A phone? Sorry, I don't know why that distracted me. She's like, this or a phone? I'm like, what is it? I mean, I guess honestly, smartphones are like just mini computers that you happen to be able to make a phone call on.
You're on social media or whether you're talking to people out and about that you meet. So this is a mobile business. You get to take it wherever you go. You want to know what the best thing about that is? It fits into your already busy life. I know for me, when I first started, I was like, did I just sign up for something else? Meaning my kids were in sports. All 3 of them were in baseball at the time, and it was crazy. And it's like, how am I ever going to be able to do this? So I don't know if you guys can relate to that or not, but this is a business that you can pick up and take with you, which is awesome, right?
And that's another way that they can manipulate you in MLMs is like, well, I mean, this business is mobile. You can do it from anywhere. So you have no excuse to be successful. You have your phone, right? You had your phone on you. So why weren't you, talking to people? Why weren't you sending messages? It's another way to manipulate. Like, it sounds nice. Like, you can take your work with you on the go. You can work from anywhere, work from Wi-Fi. But it's also a way for others to be like, well, you have no excuse because you can work from literally anywhere.
I'm going to start this off by saying one more thing before we kind of get into the nitty-gritty details. And that is, I want you guys to earn while you learn. What that means is I want you making money while you're learning about this business. Some people have the tendency, my mom was one of them, that wanted to know everything about every little product, be able to describe everything, know all the nitty-gritty details of everything about this business. And guess what? It took her like 3 or 4 weeks, and she's like, I'm not making any money. I'm like, well, yeah, you're not doing anything. You're just learning, which is great. But Mom, at that point, I had earned a $20,000 bonus in my first 6 weeks in this business. And I said to her, we've been in the same time because you got in the same day as me. But what I've done is I've just started to learn while I'm building my business. And so that's what I want you guys to know.
Okay. So there's a part of that I think is good business advice, like people who are starting their own business. I've seen it in Facebook groups of, small businesses or people wanting to start a small business. They have so many questions and they want to know so much, and that's good. And that is really, really good. But again, what you really learn when you throw yourself out there, like I'll take, making YouTube videos, for example. You can do all the research, you can have the best products, you can, have the greatest camera, and you can have this and this and that, and you have everything set up because you did months of research. But then you go to sit down and you're like, what do I say? What do I do? Like, and you're nervous and you're awkward because that's how, you're sitting in front of a camera and you're talking to yourself. So it just comes with practice, trial and error, really, when it comes to anything, small businesses, YouTube videos, whatever it may be, you do learn through trial and error. So that part I can understand, but her mom wanting to learn about the products is not a bad thing. Learning about the products that you are selling, I think, is a good thing, and wanting to know everything about them. So if somebody comes to you with a question, you can say, you have the answer. A lot of them will be like, well, what do I do if I don't know the answer? It's like, oh, well, just ask your upline. And it's like, but maybe you want to. It's your business. You should know about the products. I think that's a good thing. But instead, my guess is she hit the ground running with recruiting, and her mom saw it as a sales job, because it is, and she wants to sell the products that is essentially in her business. So there's parts of it that I think it is good business advice, not for an MLM, but it is good business advice. You can only learn sometimes through trial and error. You can only do so much research, and then when you find, it's like, well, I need to know more about this before I open, or I need to have this done before I open. And sometimes it's like, just put yourself out there. Just, finally open your store or start a channel or whatever the case may be. Just go for it, and you'll stumble and fall along the way, and you'll make mistakes for sure, but you'll never make that mistake again, and it's a learning experience. And sometimes those mistakes are good things, because you learn something that you may have not ever thought about before. You can only do so much research, but maybe you stumbled across something that somebody else hasn't had to deal with, so you had the answer that you could give to somebody else, which is good. But trial and error is very, very important in small businesses, and just, really in life in general. It's what mistakes are. We make mistakes, we learn from them, we grow, we move on. All right, that was a long thing of like, I agree with her, but
Is that ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice, okay? So it's better than knowing absolutely everything.
I wouldn't necessarily want to go into a business feeling ignorant. I know that's not what you meant, but I don't know. Ignorance is such a just not a good word. You don't want to go into any sort of thing that you are doing ignorant, because people can tell. People can see through that.
And then learning. You're going to pick stuff up. And the best way to learn how to do this business is just to get out there and to do it, to message people, to start talking to people, talk to your upline. And your upline is the person that got you in, or the people above them, okay? Those are the people that are going to help teach you, coach you, train you, mentor you along the way, all right? So you don't have to know everything. And I'm going to encourage you guys to take notes tonight on this Zoom. But if at the end of it, you are like, oh, I don't even remember anything she said. That's okay. Okay?
What is the point of being here then? Why would you even be a part of this call? She says this is could you, oh my god, just any sort of training for any job, and they tell you, well, I mean, you'll just learn it along the way. You technically don't even need to, like, be here for this training. We don't even really need to train you. You'll just learn it along the way, and you'll just stumble your way through, and that's okay. That's why they train you at jobs. They pay you for the training and they train you so that you don't make these mistakes. That is the whole point of people coming to this call, I assume, is because they want to learn. They don't want to make mistakes. But again, the learning is just, what messages should I be sending people? You know, what messages work for you? And that's what a lot of people want. They want the exact message that these people said because clearly those work, so I better send those. But no, sometimes that's not it. I mean, especially as time goes on and more people, you know, are so anti-MLM, it's not going to work. It's just the pool of people, I want to say and I want to believe, are becoming smaller and smaller, and less people are joining MLMs, which is really, really good. And then the pool of people who, you know, are being reached out to, more and more people are saying, hey, I don't want to join that. I don't support that. So as time goes on, and I've talked about it with some of you guys, we're just hoping that we see less and less, well, one, MLMs popping up, but also people, you know, turning to MLMs as kind of like a last resort kind of thing because they're so desperate.
You guys have a free pass, all right? So let's get into the first kind of steps of this business of things that you guys need to do. And it's who's going to join you? Who are going to be your customers and who are going to be your distributors. I like to say that we get paid to do 3 things in this.
What a weird thing to word it. Instead of saying who are your customers, it's who's going to join you.
Business, okay? We get paid to sign customers, we get paid to sign distributors, and we get paid to teach our team, teach our distributors, teach you guys how to do those 2 same things.
I mean, I guess technically number 1 could be selling, but she never said the word selling the product.
And it all starts with your hundreds list, okay? So.
Oh, no. Oh, is she going to say find 100 people to reach out to? She's going to say that, isn't she?
Okay, sorry, I got lost in my phone for a second. Do you guys ever scroll and it just stops and it doesn't scroll with you and it's like, come on. Okay, so who to reach out to, who to talk to about this business. You'll hear people say, oh, make a hundreds list. Now, if that overwhelms you, I want to tell you make a 30s list. Try to write down 30 people, all right? I guarantee you once you do it, you're going to come up with 100.
No, who? Who knows 100 people? I mean, I'm sure some of you do, but you don't want to sell to them. 100 people is a lot of people. 100 people is a lot of people. And the fact, this is a terrible pause screen, but it's always like reach out to 100 people or start out with 30 and then you'll realize you know 100. I don't even think I could find 30 people.
I told Pentecost the day that I signed up with her and I was like, Kimmy, I don't even know 5 people. And she's like, oh, come on. You have a neighbor, a sister, a friend, a coworker. I was like, okay. Maybe I know 5 people, but I don't really know that many people. You know, that was a really big objection of mine before I started this business because I've been a stay-at-home mom for 10 years and I really just didn't get out a lot. All of my friends had moved away. I had moved away and came back after my divorce and they were gone. So I really didn't feel like I had very many people to reach out to, okay? What I want to tell you right now is don't prejudge anybody, okay? And what I mean by that is don't write anybody off. Don't think, oh, they're not going to want to do this. Oh, they're not going to be interested in this. The people that I thought would jump at this are the ones that were like, I need to watch you a little bit. And then the ones that I thought would never in a million years either join me or try my products were some of the first people to actually do that. So don't write anybody off. And then the next tip I have for you as you're thinking about people is if you got sick tomorrow, okay, if you got the flu and you didn't have any chicken noodle soup in your house and no electrolyte water, no bread, and no cough drops, who would you call? Who would you call to bring you chicken noodle soup? Okay? Or if you got pregnant or maybe your wife got pregnant, Who are those first few people that you call to tell that exciting news to? Those are the first people that I want you guys reaching out to. Why? Because they're your family and friends, right? And
calling a family member or a friend and telling them happy news that you're pregnant, or asking if they can bring you over some soup because you're sick, are two literally on a totally different spectrum than asking somebody to pay $50, $100 to sign up underneath you. With those two things, chicken noodle soup, I mean, maybe whatever, they'll spend $2 bringing you over a can of Campbell's is so much more likely, and you're asking so much less of that person than asking them to sign up underneath you for an MLM. Two totally different things. Completely different. And the pregnancy one, you're not even asking them to spend money. You're just telling them happy news. You can tell them that you joined It Works and, you're starting your own business. And if you're interested in any products, go ahead and look at this link that's connected to my number or whatever. And I get a commission if you see anything on here that you would like to try out. And I can, teach you about the products, or if you have any questions, let me know. And I can tell you what certain things do, or my experience with them. Two totally different things.
Most chances are, a couple of them are going to support you, and we're going to teach you different ways to talk to them. But the best advice I can give you right now is, you guys, people don't want to be sold to. We're getting sold everywhere we go, right? You go to Starbucks, you want another shot with that? How about that little French pastry over there? Are you sure you don't want an extra shot of this and that? People don't want to be sold to, but they want to help people. I guarantee that if somebody came to me tomorrow and said, I'm going on a missions trip, I just need $5, I'd be like, okay, here you go. Even if it was the last $5 out of my pocket, okay? People want to help people. So start with those people, all right? Then we're going to have you start to write those people down. Like I said, the 30 list that I was talking about. So the 30 list, you're going to start writing down those people, all right? And then we're going to start thinking, so if you're coming up, or if you're having a hard time thinking of people, right? If you're like, okay, where do I start, right? Again, chicken noodle soup. And if you're pregnant, who are you going to tell, right? But outside of that, I want you guys to remember this acronym, FRANK, F-R-A-N-K, like the guy's name, all right? Frank. F stands for your friends, all right? So start writing down your friends. Go on Facebook. Right there's a ton of friends that you guys have. Look in your phone. Who are the last 10 people that you sent text messages to? R stands for relatives. Your parents, your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, your aunts, your grandparents, your relatives, all right? Sister-in-law, mother-in-law, things like that. A stands for acquaintances. So who are some people that you just kind of know? Maybe, when you go to...
I think N stands for neighbors, and then K stands for knowingly sending messages to anybody that has an Instagram or a Facebook. That's probably not right, but that's probably around the correct answer.
With the dentist office, you just love your dental hygienist. You guys just hit it off, but you're not really friends with that person, right? So acquaintances. N stands for neighbors. And now here's a fun one. I want you guys to think about who's your neighbors right now, but you've probably lived in maybe multiple different places.
Wouldn't that be acquaintances, or probably friends? Wouldn't that go in the friends category? Because if you moved away and you're still talking to your neighbors, or you're friends with your neighbors on Facebook or Instagram, wouldn't that be part of acquaintances, or more than likely your friends at that point? Instead of neighbors should be just current neighbors. Also, don't talk to your neighbors. Leave them alone. They don't want your MLM.
Unless you're joining us and you're in high school right now and you've not even left home yet, right? But think about maybe where you lived as a kid. Think about if you've ever switched neighborhoods or lived in different houses or states. So N is for neighbors and K is for kids. Okay, now we're not going to talk to our kids about joining.
Kids? I thought you said kits. But kids. Wow, you know what? That's worse. That's worse than my N. That's worse than my N. I mean, my N, because I said knowing. My K. Kids, she's probably going to say, you don't want your kids to join, but your kids have friends, and they have parents, and they go to school, and they have teachers.
But I want you to think about who are kids as parents, right? If you have kids, who are your friends or who are your kids' parents, maybe teachers. Maybe they're in a softball or baseball program. Who are those moms and dads around there? And if you can't think, or if you don't have kids, think of who do you know that has kids, okay? Think of maybe some of your friends that you hung out with when you were a kid and you haven't seen them, in so long. That has happened to me so many times. I had a girl find me on Facebook that I hadn't seen or talked to since 3rd grade. And I'm thinking, how in the world did you find me? It must have been a random coincidence because there's no other way. I mean, my last name's completely different, right? So Frank, those are the people that you guys are going to start writing down those people's names right away, all right? And then I'm going to give you a text that you can send out, all right? And as soon as we get this recording up, as soon as this ends, I'm going to throw the recording on our team page. And I will put these texts in here, and I'm also going to show you where you can find them. So don't feel like you have to write everything down, and don't feel like, oh crap, you missed something. I'm just going to kind of talk through this with you guys. So this is a really good first text to send out, all right? Hey girl, how are you? Or, hey Steph, how you doing? Random sentence about whatever, hey, I miss you, haven't seen you in a while.
A random sentence about whatever. Hey, I miss you and I haven't seen you in a while. So something that's insignificant, such as you haven't talked to them in quite some time. By the way, do you want to join my opportunity?
Oh my gosh, how are the kids doing, Kay?
So something that doesn't see. This is exactly what we see in these messages all the time. Hey girly, hey hun, hey sweetie pie honey bunches of oats, how are you? Your kids are so beautiful and they've grown up so amazingly. By the way.
Look, I have some super exciting news to tell you. I just started my own business with It Works, and since you're someone that I totally trust, I would love for you to try these products with me and give me your honest opinion. They're all natural, and there's a couple of different ones that I want us to try. Would you be open to doing it with me? Okay? Now, if that doesn't sound like you, you guys change it up, switch it up. If you were to send this to your best friend and she's like, what is this? Okay? I don't want it to sound like a script. So transform it, morph it into something that's going to sound like you, something that you would send, all right? Then the next thing too is they're going to respond, right? So whenever they respond, you're going to send this. So if they're like, yeah, sure, whatever, yay, this is going to be so much fun. Again, all natural products. So tell me a few things you might be interested in, and I'll give you the details. I have a few spots open for hair, skin, and nails, which is a hair growth vitamin, a 2-day cleanse, thermal fight, which helps.
So you're supposed to send that to 30 to 100 people. And then when people do say yes, you say you only have a few spots open. And that's just again, it's a tactic of, I thought of you, I only have a few spots open, and you would be perfect for this. And it gets them right thinking like, oh my God, they only have a few spots and they thought of me. Like, it makes them feel special. Even though it's not true, they can have as many people sign up underneath them as they want. There's no limit to it.
Which is an appetite suppressant and burns calories. Wraps that tighten, tone, and firm, and Confianza, which is anti-stress, which sounds best. All right, so you're giving them a few choices. All right, if they can't afford the products, you guys, if they're like, oh my gosh, I would love to support you, or that sounds so awesome, but I don't have any extra money right now. All right, this is the perfect segue to ask them about the business. So when people say that to me, all I say is, hey, well, have you ever thought about doing what I do to make some extra money? Or would you be open to more info about how I make money from my phone?
People will say, this is also a nice way of people laying them down. Like, that sounds great, but I actually don't have that kind of money right now. I don't have that money. And it's a nice way of letting someone down, like, instead of just blatantly saying no. But to say like, oh, that's so, you're so sweet for thinking of me, but I actually don't have that kind of money right now, maybe in the future, it's a nice way of saying no. But of course, in MLMs, there's no such thing as the word no.
Okay, it's planting that seed. A lot of times people will say like, okay, well, what do you do? Especially if it's something you're brand new starting out with, or if maybe you're messaging someone and they just haven't seen anything on Facebook about it. I'll say, well, I work from home mainly through social media, and I get paid to share products and help the company get customers and build a team. What would an extra $500 do for you?
What if you just started out and you haven't made money? You know, that's a big thing I think that a lot of people say. They're like, but I haven't seen money, but I could potentially one day see money if you sign up underneath me.
always like to end with a question, you guys, because it gives them something to respond to. And I love to say, what would an extra $500 do for you? Because they first might be going, oh, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if that sounds interesting. But when you say, what would an extra $500 do for you? They start thinking, all right? They start going, well, that would pay half my mortgage. That would pay our grocery bill. That would pay my house payment. That would pay my car payment. That would pay, for gas. That would pay for college. They start thinking about that, okay? And if they're just genuinely like not interested, if they're like, oh, girlfriend, I'm so not interested in that. Or if they're like, oh, I'm already a customer, or I'm all set, no thanks, this is where you can ask for a referral and say, that's okay. Do you know anybody else that would be interested?
No, don't drag other people into this.
If all you had was 1 to 2 hours a day to work your business, you can move your business forward. You're going to grow. If that's all the time that you have to put
Not in an MLM.
towards it, if you do these 6 things. Okay. So now there's tons of income producing activities that you could do for your business, but these are the 6 that I recommend. And honestly, you can get them done in like 15, 20 minutes, maybe 30 at the max. But these are my non-negotiables. This is what I do for my business every single day. Okay. You ready? And then we're going to break them down. So I post daily on social media. Okay. That's 1, post. 2 is I message brand new people that I've never talked to about this business before. Okay. So I'm messaging new people. 3 is I'm following up with people that I've already messaged. Okay. So maybe they didn't sign, or maybe they said they're going to. I'm just going to send them a message and follow up with them. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. 4 is I'm going to expand my network, which means if I'm out and about and I'm at Walmart and the lady checking me out just has a great personality, I'm going to give her a Blitz card. Okay.
Please leave the cashiers alone.
Say, you'd be so great at what I do. And I make money from my phone. I don't have to, I make money from my phone.
Oh my God. She was going to say, I don't have to scan other people's stuff. I don't have to be a cashier. I make money from my phone. Ooh, as an ex-cashier myself, that was very rude.
And hand her a Bliss card, okay? Ask for her phone number. Ask her to follow you on social media, and then you can follow back up with her.
It's so weird if nobody ever handed me stuff when I was working, thank goodness. But God, I would just be like, no, I don't want to join your MLM. I don't want to follow you. I don't know who you are. I don't follow, random strangers on Facebook. I don't remember the last time I added anyone on Facebook or somebody tried to add me. Actually, someone did try and add me recently, just some random person. I was like, no.
So expanding your network. The other way to expand your network is online, okay? Through Facebook, adding new friends, on Instagram, following new people. So I'm expanding my network. You guys, it takes like 2 seconds to click follow, 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 follow. If that's all you did, you just did one of those things. You expanded your network that day, okay? All right. Number 5 is you want to engage on social media, okay? This is what I like to call building relationships, okay? Where you're going to go and you're going to like and comment on other people's things online. Why? Because you're building relationships. The other thing is there's this crazy word, if you've never heard about it, called a Facebook algorithm. Did you guys know that only like 12% of your friends actually see your posts on Facebook? Isn't that crazy? So by commenting and liking on other people's posts, you're telling Facebook, hey, this is a person that's important to me. I want to see their stuff and I want them to see my stuff. Okay? So you're going to engage and build relationships on social media. And then the 6th thing that you can do every single day is self-development.
All 6 of these sound very, very similar to the Success Club tracker from Beachbody. The middle part, which is the main part, which is the social media engagement. Follow people, like and comment, follow back, write messages, follow back with people who message you and stuff like that. Sounds very similar, but weird. It works. It's not Beachbody.
Self-development is so big, you guys. Why? Because 20% of success in this business comes from what I'm teaching you right now. How to message, how to post, how to talk to people, how to sign customers. Only 20% of your success actually comes from the mechanics of doing a business like this. But 80% of your success comes right here. It's your mind. Okay? And what I mean by that is if you wake up in the morning and you message somebody and they're like, I'm just not interested, and you are like destroyed and you take that to heart, it's going to mess up your whole day, right? And then the 20% of this business is going to get messed up. But if you can say to yourself, you know what, that's okay. They just don't get it yet, but that's okay.
They just don't get it. They said no because they don't get it.
I move on to the next person that is waiting for me. And you control that environment right there. And you're telling yourself, you know what, I got this. Right? I'm doing this for my family, not their family. I'm doing this because I want X, Y, and Z out of this business. It's going to be so powerful. And I know that kind of probably sounds silly or cliche, but it is the truth. What you think about comes about. Okay, so 80% of your success in this business is going to start right here. So what are you feeling? What are you listening to? What are you thinking about? Where are your eyes at, right? That's where you're focused. All right.
I mean, I feel like most of the success in the business is when people say yes. But of course, they're like, that's because you had a positive attitude. You went into it positively and you ignored all the negativity. So, of course, positivity is only going to flow towards you. And it's like,
let's talk about social media here for a second. So,
isn't that what we talked about already? Oh, we're going to talk about what we post on social media, not reaching out to people on social media, but what we post on social media. We haven't discussed really the products and how to sell them yet, but I mean, I guess reaching out to strangers online does count as potentially selling the product. It's not what they mean. They're talking about recruiting, of course.
Posting and messaging really go hand in hand. You kind of can't do one without the other. And what I mean by that is if you're messaging somebody and what is the first thing that they're going to do? Okay, especially if they don't know you. They're going to go check out your profile on social media and they're like, oh my gosh, look at these before and after pictures. Wow, she's talking about her greens. Oh my gosh, she got a $5,000 bonus, right? So when you message someone, they're going to go look at your wall. They're going to look at your posts. Okay, so just keep posting. Another thing is I want to talk to you guys about objections. People are going to tell you, no, I don't have time for that. No, I'm too busy. No, I don't have money. There's all sorts of different objections. I'm just not a good salesperson. I wouldn't be very good at that. People have so many different things that they say, right? And honestly, what it comes down to is they're scared. They're afraid. They're afraid they're not going to be successful.
I don't think that's it. I really don't think that's it. Maybe some of them, and the sales thing of like, I'm not good at sales, so this won't be for me. Like, even if, let's say, I wanted to do it, I know that I couldn't. I know myself. Like, a lot of people, they know. They're like, this is not for me. This is not the job that I want to do. I don't want to do sales. I don't want to be a salesperson. That's not what I want to do. I don't feel comfortable reaching out to strangers and asking them to buy from me or join underneath me. I don't feel comfortable with that. And that's why they say that. Because at least they're being honest. They're like, I don't want to be in sales, or I don't think I'd be good at sales. I appreciate you thinking about me. But no, and a lot of it also is just they're looking for ways to say no, to let the person down easy without necessarily like saying no. A lot of people don't, they don't want to hurt people. So like, I just want the money right now, or this isn't a good time. They're trying to let them down without blatantly saying no because they don't want to do that. People are going to be nice. But of course in MLMs, they're like, that's just sneak your way around it, add it into the conversation, work it into a yes until that person just either ghosts them or just says, look, I was trying to be nice, leave me alone.
You guys might be feeling that same thing too right now. And you might have said that to the person that enrolled you for a short amount of time or a long period of time before you signed up. Most people have some sort of fear or they're scared. Some people have never done anything like this before, and it is a little bit scary. Okay, so what I want to tell you guys when people are giving you any sort of objection at all is feel, felt, found. Okay? So if somebody tells me, well, I'm just so busy. I just don't think I can add anything more to my plate. I'm going to say to them, oh my gosh, girl, I totally know how you feel. 100%. I totally get that. I felt the same way when I first started too. My kids, all three of them were in sports, and Mike was working like 80, 90 hours a week. Like, I didn't think that there was any way that I could bring in one more thing into my life.
This is also another manipulative tactic of like, I know exactly how you feel. I went through all of this and I'm making it work, so you can make it work too. I clearly am went through a lot of more. What am I trying to say? I went through way worse than you could have, so that's why you can fit it in. I understand how you feel. If I fit it in, you can fit it in.
But what I found is that I work my business through my phone, so I pick up and go. I get to decide how much time I'm going to put into this. Okay, seriously, you need to do this with me. You would be so good. Okay, so I always do feel, felt, found, and then I end with a compliment because I want to empower them. I want them to feel like, you know what, I can do this. She's right. So those are just a couple of tips for objections. I think that's pretty much it, you guys. If you guys have any questions, you can either type something in the chat or you can unmute yourself and ask a question.
All right, so that was the end of the video. Bye, it works, lady. Unfortunately, she didn't end it by saying bye. She just ended the video. Like, I don't know if she didn't want to answer the questions on the video or she had to cut it off because it was almost an hour long of just how to message people, who to message. I was looking at the comments on this video, and one of the comments is the whole reason that I wanted to react to this video, and I'll read it right now. Okay, I just spent almost an hour watching this very detailed video on how to set up your business with A-Works. This company is so quick to correct anyone who states that it is a pyramid scheme because they offer a product. This was 52 minutes of how to recruit people to be in your downline, not any kind of feature of products or product education. This is because the overpriced, minimally effective products are just a front to make the pyramid scheme legal for now. Side note, if I care enough about someone to bring them chicken noodle soup when they're sick, I would hope they would care enough about me to not try to get me involved in any one of these things where most people lose money and regret joining. So absolutely true. Also, going back to the chicken noodle soup pregnancy thing, you're not asking really anyone to pay a bunch of money. And it's not even just signing up underneath, because I think they have to, you have to have the reoccurring trying the products, and then they'll also want those people to have more people underneath them so that they can climb higher on the pyramid. And as always, like this person says, the products really are just a front to shield the fact that they are a pyramid scheme, allegedly. Alright guys, that's going to be the end of this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you really, really liked it, please subscribe. Let's talk all things It Works in the comments below. And until my next video, I will see you guys then. Bye!